We will chant from number 24. Ajnana Yogat, abridged version.
In 1 minute, Guruji. Hemavati Shankarji.
Okay, ready, ma?
Which one?
Ajnana Yogat, number 24.
24 of the abridged version.
Correct.
Okay, yeah, got it.
We have been chanting abridged only. Yeah. Ajnana Yogat Paramatmanastava
Ajnana yogat paramatmanastava
Hyanatma Bandhastata eva samsritihi
yanatma bandhastatayeva samsrutihi
Tayor Vivekodita Bodhavannihi
tayor vivekodita bodhavanhihi
Ajnanakaryam Pradahet Samulam
ajnana karyam pradahet samulam
Ko nama bandha kathamesha agataha
ko nama bandha khatamesha agataha
Katham pratisthasya katham vimokshaha
कथं प्रतिष्ठास्य कथं विमोक्षः
Ko savanatma paramah ka atma
को सावनात्मा परमः क आत्मा
Tayor vivekah kathametaduchyatam
तयोर्विवेकः कथमेतदुच्यताम्
Yadbodhavyam tavedanim
यद्बोधव्यं तवेदानीम्
Atmanatma vivechanam
आत्मानात्मविवेचनम्
Taduchyate maya samyak
तदुच्यते मया सम्यक्
Shrutvatmanyavadharaya.
श्रुत्वात्मन्यवधारय
Today's shloka is going to be the next one. Panchi kritebhyo bhutebhyaha
पञ्चीकृतेभ्यो भूतेभ्यः
स्थूलेभ्यः पूर्वकर्मणा
स्थूलेभ्यः पूर्वकर्मणा
समुत्पन्नमिदं स्थूलम्
समुत्पन्नमिदं स्थूलम्
भोगायतनमात्मनः
भोगायतनमात्मनः
अवस्था जागरस्तस्य
अवस्था जागरस्तस्य
स्थूलार्थानुभवो यतः
स्थूलार्थानुभवो यतः
Once again, पञ्चीकृतेभ्यो भूतेभ्यः
पञ्चीकृतेभ्यो भूतेभ्यः
स्थूलेभ्यः पूर्वकर्मणा
स्थूलेभ्यः पूर्वकर्मणा
समुत्पन्नमिदं स्थूलम्
समुत्पन्नमिदं स्थूलम्
भोगायतनमात्मनः
भोगायतनमात्मनः
अवस्था जागरस्तस्य
अवस्था जागरस्तस्य
स्थूलार्थानुभवो यतः
स्थूलार्थानुभवो यतः
Good.
धन्यवादः
So this dialogue has warmed up between Shishya and Guru, and in shloka number 24 is a seminal shloka of Vedanta. which analyzes the problem and presents the solution. Ajnana yogat paramatmanastava. So it's a loaded shloka that we studied. Is introducing ajnanam once again. Ignorance or primal ignorance or moola ajnanam. There is ignorance of so many things. Aparavidya, ignorance is there. Every little thing is knowledge. Everything. The cell phone we use has so much knowledge involved in it. The chip technology is improving. These chip scientists, I spoke to one person, he tells me now what they are doing is they are coming to a point where they can actually look at atoms and place the atoms wherever they want. Something like that. To that extent, the technology has improved. And so there is so much to know, so much in any one field, and you can keep uh, uh, knowing more and more detail about any one thing. So that ajnanam is always there. That is apara vidya. It comes under the category of science. You can even say science. Science is apara vidya. And so here, paravidya ajnana, ajnana yogat paramatmanastava. That paravidya ajnanam is what makes me think of myself as somebody other than who I really am. And who am I really? In this shloka itself, he says, Paramatmanastava. Tava, you who are none other than Paramatma. Mahavakyam is Shankaracharya has introduced in this shloka. And then from that he says, Anatma Bandhaha. This so-called bandha comes from this attachment to Anatma. Thinking that Anatma is going to make me something better. Makes me get moksha. Okay. And then tata eva samsritihi, samsara comes from that. Then this atma anatma viveka has to be there, and from there that clarity will be there. From that, this ajnana karyam, which is samsritihi, which is samsaraha, will be completely eliminated. This is a very bold statement. The person who is talking like this has the burden of proving it. And that is all the rest of the text. Okay. Jnana karyam pradahet samulam. It's not an ordinary statement. And then immediately, Shishya uvacha, ko nama bandhaha. Some questions are being asked. It gives us a clue as to what are the key things I must know within Vedanta. Key things. So bandhaha, we saw all those questions, of which Acharya is going to take Kaha asau anatma paramahka atma. So sixth, I think that must be the sixth question, or fifth maybe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, fifth question. Kaha asau anatma. What is this anatma? And then what is atma, which is paramaha? You only mentioned paramatmanaha. Therefore, I am using that same word paramaha. Like that he asked. And then teacher continued. Atma anatma vivechanam, he says in shloka number 26. Atma anatma vivechanam. So idanim, now we need to get our viveka clarified. All life long we never bothered about atma. Everything we went after anatma, and we know what anatma, how useful anatma is. We know all that. We know what things are useful in this life. We know very well. What is not useful, that also we know. But usefulness also is in the same category as anatma. And so now atma being the subject matter of Vedanta, he is saying, teacher is saying, atmanatma vivechanam samyak shrutva atmani avadharya. We saw that last time. Listen to me, like that he's saying. I said earlier, anatma means all objects. All things that a human being perceives is anatma. Perceives is anatma. And that's how the study of science starts. The field of science keeps on growing. It is essentially a study of everything in this universe. Whatever is there, you can study. You can know more and more about it. You just take rocks. You think it is waste, useless waste. No, a rock is, they're all ores. You can mine metals from those rocks. All metals are coming from these rocks only. What do you say? Rock is actually a source of all kinds of metals. And when the metals are in large quantity, you call it a mine, like an iron ore mine, iron ore, gold mine, like that they say. They use all these words. And so science is busy looking at understanding, conceptualizing, formulating. Understanding means what? They have to come up with laws that govern various phenomena of this empirical world that we are confronting, this human being is confronting, including medicine. Medicine is not out there. Medicine starts with the diagnosis of the diseases of the body. So right there you get a clue that body also is the subject matter. Body and mind and sense organs is a subject matter of certain people. Ophthalmologists are busy studying all the disorders of the eyes and trying to cure certain ailments. What could not be cured 50 years ago are now curable. And so much advances are happening. So I remember a time when this in the US, this hearing aid was a very big thing. Hearing aid. And hearing aid is a big thing. And among that, others should not be able to see that you are wearing a hearing aid, That's very important. That's very important because looks are important, And so that size of the hearing aid, look at the technology. It takes a lot to reduce the size of the hearing aid. A lot of technology. Simply you can't reduce the size. And so that used to be plug it in and forget it and all. I used to, all these tag words and all used to be there. And you can't notice the person having hearing aid. So technology, so much knowledge is there in every step of the way. And somehow, even scientists have figured out that this consciousness, material, okay, we've been doing all this, we are experts in this. It's a matter of time before we know more and more. We know about the ozone layer and all that. But consciousness is right here. And this right here consciousness, we are not able to really grasp, put our finger on. And the scientists also appreciate that. And Swamiji quotes, Swamiji, Paramahansa says, he read an article somewhere where he says, the scientist is saying, nothing worthwhile has been written about consciousness, it seems. That is a bold statement that they have made. So I put that in Chat GPT and I said, there is an article where somebody said nothing worthwhile has been written about consciousness. Can you tell me who this author is and show me the article? And ChatGPT did something and said, no, there are some scholars and all. Like that, it's hard for me to point like that. ChatGPT started talking. Anyway, so this is how it works. When we Vaidikas are faced with this kind of situation, we move from science to Vedanta. Veda. Leave Vedanta aside for now. Veda. When something is beyond the access of these five sense organs and the mind, okay, then we say, now this is out of our hands and we have to deliver ourselves into the hands of the Veda. This is the approach we take. We don't give up and say, oh, that's our consciousness is not It's just too vague, and it is very strange. I'm conscious, yet I don't know anything about consciousness. And we don't say like that. So then Veda comes. And in fact, you will be so, it is such an interesting thing. The word Veda itself tells us when you should approach the Veda. Okay. I want you to write this shloka down. Okay. I'm going to dictate a shloka. Please write this down. Pratyakshena. Pratyakshena. Okay, write this down. And afterwards, I can request Ramuji to post it in the WhatsApp group. Pratyakshena anumitya va. Anumitya va. Pratyakshena anumitya va. And it's actually, it should be written like this. Pratyakshena anumitya va. Because there is a sandhi there. Okay. Pratyakshena anumitya va. Yastupayo. Yastupayo. Yastupayo na vidyate. Na vidyate. Yastupayo na vidyate. Yenam vidanti. Enam. E-N-A-M. Enam vidanti. Enam vidanti. Enam vidanti vedena. Vedena. I'll explain everything to you. So you'll have another opportunity to correct it if you have any questions. Enam vidanti vedena. Tasmad vedasya. Tasmat vedasya. Vedata. Vedata. Tasmat vedasya vedata. So let me chant that again. Pratyakshena va yastupayo na vidyate yenam vidanti vedena tasmad vedasya vedata. Okay. Tasmat vedasya vedata. Therefore, the Veda has what is called Vedata. That is the conclusion. Therefore, Veda has Vedata. That's what he's saying. Vedata means the quality of a Veda is called Vedata. Vedatvam. Okay. That's how he's concluding it. Tasmat Vedasya Vedata. All right. Why? What is unique about the Veda? Look at this. Pratyakshena. Pratyaksha, you know, perception. Sense perception is Pratyaksha. Anumityava. Anumityava. Yes, yaha tu upayah na vidyate. When your sense of perception and inference and all the reasoning capabilities that the human being has, when yaha tu upayah na vidyate, when they don't help you at all, not complicated shloka, it's very simple shloka. When these instruments that I have are no longer useful to understand something, no longer useful. Yenam vidanti vedena. Then that yenam is then that thing which you were trying to look for, but we were helpless. Then what? Yenam vidanti vedena. Then that is known by the Veda. Vedena. By the Veda. That thing is known by the Veda. Tasmat vedasya vedata. Therefore, that Veda is called, has the attribute of Vedata. Veda, when you say, you have to approach it when all the tools that you have fail to reveal what you want to know. So that's not surprising to us now, because we do say apaurusheyam, shabda pramanam, all the things the Veda has to say. I shouldn't say all the things. All the things Veda has to say, we can't figure out by ourselves, you can't say. Why? Because Veda also talks about dharma. Dharma, dharmam chara, follow dharma. Hey, without studying the Veda also, many of us, we know that we have to do the right thing. You don't need. Even the thief knows that he has to do the right thing. He is violating the dharma. Thief also knows. But that guy knows no Veda. So Veda will validate what we already know, plus stretch our understanding even more by talking about Punyam and Papam. Punyam and Papam we can't figure out. Yastu Payo no Vidyate. Punyam Papam comes in that category. Swarga comes in the category. Devatas comes in the category. All Yajnas come in that category. Homas come in the category. If I do this Homa, I will get this result. That we can't figure out. That is all Yastu Payo no Vidyate. Yeah, hope you're following. And so when that happens, we have to approach this Veda. And so Swamiji says, it is the hard problem of science. Yeah, let's pause the recording here. Narayan, if you can pause the recording a little bit. Maheshji has a question.
Yagmaji, what?
And etc. Anything else? Sometimes they talk about this illustration. They talk about Arthapati, etc., Upalabdhi, etc. They talk about Anupalabdhi, etc. So they're all fine shades of inference. Yeah, that's all it is. So Anumanam. All right. So audio is okay, no? Today? Okay, a little better. All right.
It is Vidyate, no? Or
Correct.
Buddhyate.
Correct. Vidyate.
Ramuji had said Buddhyate. It should be Vidyate, Guruji.
There are two readings.
Yeah, two readings are there. Two readings are there. You can use either one. Vidyate means when that is the situation. When you encounter that kind of a situation, that's called Vidyate. Buddhyate, when you recognize this kind of situation, so that is the only difference. Both mean the same thing. Okay. So I memorized it as Vidyate long ago. And so it's your choice. Your choice. Make sure you understand what it says.
I have mentioned it also there.
Thank you, Ramuji. Thank you. All right. So when it comes to the so-called consciousness, this is the story. This is the story. We have to come to this Vedanta. That's the whole idea here. Karma Kanda does not talk much about consciousness. Karma Kanda talks about karma phalam. Hey, if you do this so that you can get this. You do this ritual with Shraddha, you can have children. You do this ritual yaga with Shraddha, you will get Aishwarya. Very clear. There is no question of consciousness here at all. No question. But when consciousness becomes the subject matter in the Jnana Kandam, obviously. And so that is what we are studying here. And so that's the story here. And that is why Atma Anatma Vivechanam is such an important thing, a requirement in fact, for the study of Vedanta. And so that question he's talking about here. And so he's starting off with what is Anatma. We have to start with what we know. In teaching, this is how it is. Any teaching, any subject matter, this is what it is. You have to start with what you know. And then move, stretch slowly, you stretch the understanding. Start with, if you know addition, start with addition. Then you say 2 plus 3 is 5. Then what is 5 minus 3? If you reduce 3 from 5, what is it? Then the student will think like this. Oh, it must be 2. That's 5 minus 3 is equal to 2. So give addition, subtraction, then stretch it a little more. Multiplication. Stretch it a little more. So keep on stretching like this. That is how knowledge grows in our mind. And so here also, Anatma. Do I know Anatma? This is the question. And you say the whole world is Anatma. What you perceive is Anatma. And what you perceive is not the self. Better use the word self right now. Atma means self. And what you perceive is not the self. And so, okay, I know that. The tree is not myself, I know that. The birds that are chirping, the peacock that is right there, that is not myself. Okay, so many things are not myself. In fact, the whole world is not myself. Then who are you? I am sitting right here. That is me. So there is no controversy when it comes to all these objects in this universe. Controversy begins only with the body. The guy said, I am this body. I am this body. I'm sitting right here. I am so and so. I was born on so and so date. I have, this is my family. This is my name, etc. That is me. That is where controversy starts. Therefore, Shankaracharya doesn't accepts that he wants to start only where there is a controversy. Okay, and so this shloka number 27 that we read and that we are looking at right now, he is talking about, look at the thing in between, idam sthulam. Underline those. Idam sthulam. This sthulam means sthula shariram ityarthaha. The word shariram, I don't see it here. It's not there. But sthulam means sthula shariram. Idam sthula shariram bhavati. This sthula shariram, is it Atma or Anatma? If you ask, it is Anatma, because that is the context here. That is the context. And so the word Anatma is not mentioned in this shloka. And so idam sthura shariram Anatma bhavati, within brackets you have to add. Because that is where the problem is. No, you mistook your body to be Atma. No, it is not Atma. It is Anatma. All right. And so he's saying here, idam sthulam, and he's going to define what this sthulam is. So in Vedanta, we have to define now everything. Just like science defines all the things it is talking about, the energy and mass, it has to start defining everything. All the laws, it has to encapsulate, and then that is when science is solid. Science is solid. I'm sure if you look up the books on ophthalmology, they will have some basics that you have to know about this this vision, whole world of vision. Basics are there, and that science keeps growing. So like that here also, sthula shariram is defined. Now, before we get into this, shariram, generally we call it body, deha, body. But Vedanta is going to talk about body also. There is this gross body that is visible to the eyes. Then there is a subtle body. Gross is called sthulam, sthula shariram. Subtle is called shukshma shariram. Remember, this is a basic text for everybody. So for many of you, you already know it. And others, it's a very good introduction. Others who are new to Vedanta. And for those for whom this is not new, if you are planning to teach, then it becomes a review for you. Good. So, sthula shariram, sukshma shariram, karana shariram. That is how it's called shariratrayam. Shariratrayam. All are part of Anatma, and that Shankaracharya is going to define all these three. And so that's why he's starting with this sthula shariram here. He's saying, Panchikritebhyaha bhutebhyaha stulebhyaha. All right. These are all loaded words here. Panchabhutani. He's going to introduce it. He's going to introduce it in the next shloka. Yes, Panchabhutani is going to be in the subtle Shukshma Shariram, which is going to talk later. And so we have to invoke that here. Panchabhutani, 5 elements: Akashaha, Vayuhu, Agnihi, Apaha, Prithvi. Okay, you can translate it into English, but better left untranslated. So these are the 5 elements. And from Atma came all these elements. We have to talk about the so-called Srishti Prakriya. Srishti. Atma is the source of everything. And so, Tasmadva, Taittiriya Upanishad. Tasmadva etasmat atmanah Akasha-sambhutah, Akashat Vayuh, Vayoragnih, Agnerapah, Adbhyah Prithvi. Like that, Upanishad says, from Atma, all these 5 subtle elements have come about. This is the step number 1 of Vedanta, Srishti. Understand very clearly, Vedanta is not interested in how the world came about. That is science. How the world came about, even science can look at by peering through the telescopes and looking at. But they can't come up with Atma produced this, because the Atma itself they have not figured out. So that part belongs to us. And so this Srishti has come about, and then from that, these are 5 elements. There's a model. It's a model. You can come up with a 3-element model. You can come up with a 10-element model. Everything. It's all up to you. But this is a Shastra, Vedanta, classic Vedanta model. Like chemistry, there are so many elements, 120 plus elements. Like that, here we have 5 elements. 5 are enough. All right. So once you have the 5 elements, these are the subtle elements. Sukshma Panchabhutani. You should add Sukshma there. Sukshma means subtle. Then what happens? The next step is the Sukshma Panchabhutani. From there, you got all the sense organs, mind, all those things are being created from the Sukshma Bhutani. All right. Then next step is from the Sukshma Bhutani, you are going to have to get Sthula Bhutani. Means what? Sukshma Akasha to Sukshma Vayu. Sukshma Akasha to Sthula Akasha. Okay, I hope you're following. You would have caught me, right? So Sukshma Akasha to Sthula Akasha. Sthula means gross. So when I say space and you are able to conceptualize space, I appreciate space when you say you are appreciating the gross space. That which you can appreciate is the gross aspect, which you can perceive is the gross space, which has come about from the subtle space. Like that. Sukshma Vayuhu to Sthula Vayuhu. When I say Vayu means air, gas. Like that, if I say, yeah, I know what gas is. I know what air is. Okay, that is the gross air, you know. But then the subtle aspect of that must be there before. The gross aspect has been created. Okay, Sukshma Vayuhu to Sthula Vayuhu, Sukshma Agnihi to Sthula Agnihi, then Sukshma Apaha to Sthula Apaha, Sukshma Prithvi to Sthula Prithvi. And then from the Sthula Panchabhutani, which have come from the Sukshma Panchabhutani, then you've got the body and the plants and everything start coming. The actual gross things that you and I see in front of us are all coming from the Sukshma Panchabhutani, which have come from the Sukshma, which have come from Atma. This is it. This is the model of creation of Vedanta. So far, so good? Yeah? Yeah. Good. So that I said this is a loaded statement. So Panchikritebhyaha Bhutebhyaha Stulebhyaha. So from the Stula Bhutebhyaha, Stulebhyaha Bhutebhyaha, from the Stula Bhutas, which is Atma, Sukshma Bhutani, then Stula Bhutani. From the Stula Bhutani, Stulebhyaha Bhutebhyaha, came this Idam Shariram. We are going to come. Idam Shariram. That is not Shariram. What is it? Idam Sthulam. This Sthula Shariram has come about from this Sthulebhyaha Bhutebhyaha, which themselves have come from the Sukshma Bhutani. Sukshma to Sthula. That process of going from Sukshma to Sthula is called Panchikaranam. Use the word Panchikaranam. And that's what he is referring to Shankaracharya by saying Panchikritebhyah Stulebhyah Bhutebhyah. Hey, those Stula Bhutas which have undergone the process of Panchikaranam from the Sukshma Bhutani. That is what he's saying. Okay? So that Panchikritebhyah, I have to explain all these things just to explain the word Panchikritebhyah. So from that modified, grossified, that's a better word, the grossified gross elements, grossified gross elements, okay, or the gross elements which have undergone the process of Panchikaranam, then idam sthulam, this sthula shariram has come about. All right. All right, this thing has come about from that. But then all these bodies are also different. All the life forms are also different. There is a cow, there is a peacock, there is so many unicellular organisms are there. Jivas are way too many. Jiva types are way too many. And within that, jivas are also many. Human beings are so many. Population is 7+ billion. And or 8+, sorry, I'm out of touch with that. And then and each human being is unique. Species human being, all right, you are talking about species, how the species came about, but then how did that individuality come? Nobody likes it when they say, look at this 150-pound mass walking. That's an insult to the person. 150-pound mass walking, look at who's entering. That's an insult. It's a clear insult. That means what? You're taking the person to be the physical form and aspect. No, there is more to it. More to it. How did it come about? That is what he's being said. He's saying by Purva Karmana. That's all. Purva Karmana is what makes us all different. Our karmas make us different. That's about it. So the first Panchikritebhyah part is the Samanya Karanam, the general cause of this human body. This Purva Karmana is the specific Vishesha Karanam of the human body. That's it. Okay. So Purva Karmana. Okay. Samutpannam idam bhogayatanam atmanah. We'll come back to Samutpannam idam. Bhoga ayatanam atmanah. What is the purpose of this body? Bhoga ayatanam atmanah. Atmanah here means for that person who says this is my body. That person atmanah purushasya bhogayatanam. Bhoga ayatanam. It is what enables all experiences to take place. That's all. It is a locus of all experiences. Locus, technical word. Or it is the counter of all experiences. Or it is the receptacle of all experiences. Or it is a container of all experiences. Beyond the skin, that's it. You go beyond the skin, there is no experience at all. It has to touch the skin. The wind has to feel. You have to say, I feel the wind means what? It has touched the skin. And so, within the boundaries of the body, all experiences are possible. Bhoga ayatanam. That's what he's saying here. Atmanaha. Idam shariram bhoga ayatanam. This body, this gross body, is the place where all experiences happen. Okay. Samutpannam. Let's talk about Samutpannam. Idam shariram samutpannam. Utpannam, created, produced, manufactured, obtained. Okay, utpannam. Samutpannam. Samyak utpannam. He's saying, look, somebody says, I am blessed. I could accomplish so much. Another person says, what kind of a body I have? My body parts are all just at a young age itself, they are not working properly. I got arthritis and my attention span is so weak. Like this, somebody says. And like this, everybody has either a list of appreciation for body or complaints about the body. Why did God make me? Why was I born? That also is a question. All these questions are there. Shankaracharya is in one word, sam utpannam. He says, it is all, there is an order in everything. Some, that's it, one word. Sanskrit, this is beauty. Samutpannam. It's all produced properly. There is no deficiency. I don't have anything more than what I deserve. I don't have anything less than what I deserve. I have exactly what I deserve. Therefore, accept what you have. There is a role I have to play. Find out what role it is and then play that role properly. Because I am creating karma and I have to ask those questions. Hey, if I'm going to create karma, what kind of karma should I create? Karma phalam should I create? That means what should I do right now? And then I should come to a point where I should ask all these questions. Ko nama bandhaha kathamesha agataha katham pratisthasya katham vimokshaha ko asau anatma paramah ka atma tayor vivekaha katham etad uchyatam. I should be able to ask. I have to come to that point. When will I come? So, doesn't matter. Arthritis is there, you can still come. Why? Arthritis should not, it's the mind. Read between lines, you don't need a great body at all. You don't need to be Mr. Universe or Miss Universe to ask all these questions. Good. That's a great consolation for me. And so, samutpannam, look at those words. Bhogayatanam atmanaha. Yeah, I should do justice to this. I have to do justice. Swami Paradayananda ji does talk about this process of Panchikaranam. So I feel like talking about it. Those of you who studied Tattva Bodha, remember Panchikaranam, correct? Yeah, many of you are saying thumbs up. No, but some of you are new. So for the sake of completeness, I want to tell you how these subtle elements became gross elements. There's a model. Shastra has a beautiful model. You are working. You go to work every day. Okay, I'm going to tell you through an example. You go to work every day, and a group of friends get together and have lunch. 5 of you get together and have lunch every lunchtime. 5 of you go to the small cubicle or one person's cubicle. You all get together, and then all of you open your lunch boxes. Okay, person A has a lunch box. She opened it, and then out there is roti. Person A for Akasha. Okay. Then person V for Vayu opened her lunch box, and there it is, dosa. All right. Like this, everybody has opened their lunch boxes. Person C or whatever, Akasha, Vayu, Agni, is, okay, let's say A, B, C, D, E. Let's keep it simple, okay? From Akasha onwards till Prithvi. A, B, C. C opened, and then they got paratha. Why not? It's an example, right? Paratha is there. And then next Uttapam is there. Then Pesarat is there. All these things are there. The way our people have figured out so much, with just one flour, they can just add a little of this and they make something else. Beautiful. So now this person, Akasha, who got this roti, what she does is, she breaks the roti, one roti, let's just say one roti, into two halves, half a roti here, half a roti here. She keeps half a roti in her lunch box. Then she takes the half roti. She's ready to give it to all the other 4. There are 4 more remaining, right? So she breaks this half into 4 equal parts. 4 equal parts and distributes it like this. So each of those other B, C, D and E, get 1/8 of a roti, correct? 1/8 of a roti. A has 1/4 of a roti, others have 1/8 of a roti each. Now, the next B person takes their dosa and does the same thing, breaks it into half. She or he keeps the half with him, and then distributes the other half equally among the remaining 4, including A. A also now gets 1/4 of a quarter of a roti, dosa, and others also get. Now, A has got half a roti in her hand and 1/8 of a dosa. Now guess what? Now repeat the whole process. A, B, C, D, E. What is A going to have? 1/2 of a roti, 1/8 of a dosa, 1/8 of a paratha, 1/8 of a pesaret, and 1/8 of a uttappam. Okay, thank you, Meera. So uttappam. All right. And like this, you can now figure out everything has their own. Now the lunch box is ready. Ready for each person to consume. Because finally the body has to be formed, correct? The body has to be formed, and the body can't be formed without raw material, and so that lunch box is the raw material. All these raw materials are the sthula bhutani, which are the cause for the shariram, idam shariram, samutpannam, because they're all cooked very well and very nutritious food they have made, and so it comes and creates the body. This is called panchikaranam. Okay, which our Tattvabodhakara mentions in one shloka. Okay, but that panchikritebhyaha, everything I said should apply to that word, panchikritebhyaha. All right, so I feel I've done justice to Swamiji's. Swamiji has written one paragraph on this. So, all right. So that's the essence of this. Then avastha jagaraha tasya sthularthanubhavaha yataha. Hey, look, the physical body is useful only in the waking state, is really operating only in the waking state. When I'm asleep, the body does whatever it does. Some digestion happens, blood circulation is happening, so many things are happening. I may be snoring also, so many things are happening, but I am just unaware of any of those activity. So this other states of experience, dream and sleep, doesn't matter at all. Sthula, jagaraha means jagrad avastha, waking state. That is where this body is really acting. That is, if you want to see the body do something, the person has to be awake. Correct? That's what he's saying here. He's saying avastha jagaraha means jagrad avastha. Okay, tasya, of that person, tasya atmanaha, jivasya, of this jiva. Who has the body? This jiva has this body. Jiva is sporting the body. The body is meant for the jiva. And so tasya purushasya, of the jivasya, tasya jivasya. After sporting the body, what happens? Sthularthan anubhavaha yataha. Yataha, yasmat. From that sthula dehat, sthula sharirat, from that body in the waking state, what happens? Sthulartha anubhavaha. Sorry, not sthularthan. Sthulartha anubhavaha. Anubhavaha, experience. That person is all set to experience the entire sthulartha. Sthulartha means gross things. Gross things means what? Through all experiences happen through the sense organs and the mind, and so sense organs can pick up sounds. The ear can pick up sound, and sound is also subtle, but it is coming from a gross object. Like this, all this sthulas is there. Sthula means all gross objects which you see. You go seek them and then you gain that experience. Experience is subtle, but the object that gave me that experience is gross. Experience is subtle. You can't even explain. You can't even explain. Rasgulla is sweet and good. Very well. You made it very well. My God, I've never tasted this kind of rasgulla. Means what? Hey, then how good it is, you explain. It's very good. You should have this kind of texture must be there. That kind of taste. What kind of taste? Explain what the taste is. No. No. One author says, one of the commentators says, even Saraswati cannot explain the taste. Saraswati, Devata. How can you say Saraswati, they cannot explain something? But he says like that. Vanya api vaktum ashakyam, he says. So there are certain things you can't express at all. Anyway, that is all subtle. And this is the gross body that makes all of this happen. That is the container of all these experiences. Okay. Jagradavastha yat atmatvena abhimanyate. That Jiva, who is this Jiva? The Jiva is the guy who took this body as himself. This is why I'm talking about the body, he's saying. And that guy who's not, at the moment confused, And so, Tasya refers to that Purushasya, Jivasya, and Abhimanat. Yeah, that's all fine. So, that's the meaning. That's the essence of this shloka, which talks about this, the how the gross body has been created. We expect this shloka to be followed by what is Sukshma Shariram, what is Karana Shariram, because those are the three essential bodies that Vedanta talks about. All right, let's translate this shloka. This physical body is born as a result of the karma of previous lives. So I forgot to mention that Purva Karmana. Karma is karma and then Purva Karmana, right? Past. So of previous lives, comma, from the gross elements. From the gross elements which have undergone the process of grossification. Within brackets you can say Panchikaranam, which have undergone the process of grossification, Panchikaranam, and is the place of experiences for the jiva, and is the place of experiences for the jiva. Full stop. So the word jiva doesn't occur literally in the shloka. Tasya, the tasya he is translating as for the jiva. Full stop. Okay. The waking state is that in which his experiences of the objects of the physical world take place. his experiences of the objects of the physical world take place. Full stop. Okay, let me read this. This physical body is born as a result of the karma of previous lives from the gross elements which have undergone the process of grossification and is the place of experiences for the jiva. Full stop. The waking state is that in which his experiences of the objects of the physical world take place. Good. All right, next sloka. वागादिपञ्च श्रवणादिपञ्च
आगादिपञ्च श्रवणादिपञ्च
प्राणादिपञ्चाभ्रमुखानि पञ्च
वा वा
प्राणादिपञ्च
श्रवण
अभ्र प्राणादिपञ्च
प्राणादिपञ्च
अभ्रमुखानि पञ्च
मुखानि पञ्च
बुद्ध्यादिविद्यापि
बुद्ध्यादिविद्यापि
च कामकर्मणि.
कामकर्मणि.
Sorry, I should say it differently. बुद्ध्याद्यविद्यापि
बुद्ध्यादविद्यापि
च कामकर्मणि
कामकर्मणि
पुर्यष्टकम्
पुर्यष्टकम्
सूक्ष्मशरीरमाहुः.
सूक्ष्मशरीरमाहुः.
Once again, वागादिपञ्च श्रवणादिपञ्च
वागादिपञ्च श्रवणादिपञ्च
प्राणादिपञ्चाभ्रमुखानि पञ्च
प्राणादिपञ्च भ्रमुकानि पञ्च
बुद्ध्याद्यविद्यापि च कामकर्मणि
बुद्ध्याद्यविद्यापि च कामकर्मणि
पुर्यष्टकम् सूक्ष्मशरीरमाहुः.
पुर्यष्टकम् सूक्ष्मशरीरमाहुः.
Good. So now next is Sukshma Shariram after Sthula Shariram, you know. So Sukshma Shariram, Ahuhu. Ahu means they say. They say. They say this is Sukshma Shariram. They say means who say? Those who know what is to be known. Chandrasekhara Bharati Mahaswami says Vedantinaha Ahuhu. Paramarthanandaji says Rishayaha Ahuhu. Those who know, they say that this is Sukshma Shariram. And so he's listing many things. And he's calling it as Puryashtakam. Puryashtakam Ahuhu. Puryashtakam Sukshma Shariram Ahuhu. This city which has 8 things. Ashtakam. Ashtakam is Ashtaha. Ashtasti Asti iti Ashtakam. This city which has 8 components is called Sukshma Shariram. Now, one thing I forgot to mention in the previous shloka. Those who studied Tattva Bodha should remember, should take the opportunity to recall. The student also asked the question there. Here at least the student did not ask the question. But there, Sthula Shariram, Kim, like that the student asked. And then to which the teacher responded. What did he say?
Panchīkrita Panchamahabhūtai Kutam
Sat
Tatkarmajanam
Go ahead.
Sukha-dukkādi bhogayatanam Sariram Asti Jayate Vardate Viparinamate Apakshiyate Vinasyati Iti Shad Vikaravat Yetat Sthula Sariram.
Correct. Panchīkrita Panchamahabhū Panchīkrita Panchamahabhūtaih Kritam Satkarmajanyam Sukha Dukkha Bhoga Ayatanam Asti Jayate Vardhate Viparinamate apakshiyate vinashyati iti shad vikaravat yat tishtati tat sthula shariram. We are saying it not to impress others. We are saying it because we are supposed to say it. We are supposed to memorize all this. And I am checking for myself if I remember this or not. That is why I said it. Same thing. Same thing. One more thing he added there. What did he say? Asti jayate vardhate viparinamate apakshiyate vinashyati iti shad vikaravat. He says he's giving another attribute of this particular Sthula Shariram. He's saying, hey, Sthula Shariram is subject to six-fold modifications. That's all. Asti jayate vardhate is born and then it grows and then it transforms and all that. And then the minute they have a middle age crisis, then after that it's all downhill. Unless they study Vedanta, of course. That's different. But then it's all downhill because midlife crisis, then I have to somehow manage more and more things. Then apakshiyate, etc. All those sad vikaravat is there. And so that extra detail he gives there that I suddenly remembered. And so here also we should ask Sukshma Shariram Kim, like that he said. So he gives the answer there also. And we will see that after we study this one. Okay. All right. So he's saying Vagadi Pancha. Vagadi Pancha. And yeah, I'm looking at the verses we skipped. Okay, I'm looking at the verses we skipped. And okay, so shloka number 92. We have to go back a little. And then there he talks about what this Vagadi, etc. are. Okay, and then Shravanadi also is telling in that shloka number 92. This is just by the way. And so yeah, you can look up that if you want. Shloka number 92 in my book. It starts with Buddhindriyani Shravanam, etc. Okay, I hope you found the shloka, right? In the unabridged version. Yeah, many of you found it. Buddhindriyani Shravanam Tyag Akshi Granam, etc. Cha Jihva Vishaya Avabodhanat. So that shloka is Shravanadi Pancha. So look at that. Shravanam. Shravanam is hearing, the sense of hearing. Tvak, sense of touch. Tvak. Akshi, ear. Akshin, so that is the ear, sense of sight. Then Granam, cha Jihva. Granam, sense of smell. And Jihva, tongue, means sense of taste. Rasanendriyam. Vishaya Avabodhanat. Why do you need the sense organs? Vishaya Avabodhanat. Hey, in order to grasp what is out there, what is to be grasped, that is Vishaya. That's all the sense organs do. All they do is they capture the external stimuli and then send it to you. That's all. That's all the sense organs does. The sense organs, your ears are not telling you that I am talking, who is talking, and what is being taught, what language it is, and what is the subject. The sense organs don't do all that. They only give you sound bites. Yes, sound bite, that's all. But the mind is a processor, central processing unit is there, my goodness. And it's an absolutely amazing instrument, which is what is making all these conclusions. I understand this talk. This talk was interesting. This is not interesting. All that mind is going to do. So here, the five sense organs, Shravanadi Pancha. Okay, look at our shloka, Shravanadi Pancha. Then Vagadi Pancha. Vagadi Pancha. It is there in the second half of this 92, correct? Vak Pani Padaha Gudam Api Upasthaha. Everybody is following, correct? Because we are switching between abridged and unabridged, so some little Vak pani padaha. Vak means organ of speech. Hey, sense organs are all taking input. It is all going inside. Now, what about output? Yeah, output. Vak is meant for output. I output to this universe through my vocal cords. That is Vak. Pani, feet. And then, I mean, Pani is hands. Sorry, Pani is hands. And then hands also, action, organs of action. Padaha, feet. Gudam, anus. Upastaha, organ of procreation, generation. Upastaha. Okay. That's it. These are the 5 organs of action. Karmendriyani. They are called Karmendriyani. In this shloka, he says, Pravanena karmasu. They are helpful in engaging in action, in pravritti. Without action, there is no life. Nothing have. Human being means action. Animals also act, but they don't have any kartritvam. But this human being, deliberate actions are done. And so, that is called Vagadi Pancha, Shravanadi Pancha. That word Vagadi Pancha is actually one word. Okay, let's see how it is printed here. Okay, it can be one word or it can be 2 words also. 2 words. One word would be good because Shankaracharya is counting it as one. Counting it as one group of 5. Counting in the Puri Ashtakam, 8-fold. Remember 8 constituents of this city, and there in that 8, this is only 1. Vagadi is 1, Shravanadi is 2, Pranadi. That comes in shloka number 95. Just one shloka before this in the unabridged version. Prana, apana, vyana, udana, samanaha. Perfect. Perfect. Bhavati asau pranaha. He's saying, look, there is this physiological functions in the body that's called pranaha, like respiration, etc. All these are there, and there are 5-fold: prana, respiration; apana is excretion; prana, apana; vyana is circulation; then udana is things that operate at emergency times, and so like vomiting, that force that is required to get things out. It is not normal. Nobody should vomit when they are normal. Abnormal, vomit. And there is another things which is, I won't say abnormal, but it happens once, and that is death. Death, the Shakti that takes the Sukshma Shariram out of the body and carries it away. They say that is called Udanaha. That is also a Shakti. When you talk about Sukshma Shariram traveling, means everything has to be complete. And so that Shakti is also called Udanaha. All formal definitions are there for these things. Vedanta Sara, there's another text written by Swami Sadananda Saraswati, and beautiful text. It is also a basic text like this, but there he actually defines what is all these things. Adho Gamanavan Vayuhu, Vishwa Gamanavan Vayuhu, like that he defines. We don't have to get into all that now. So, prana, respiration; apana, excretion; prana, apana; vyana, circulation; and then udana is this particular. I mentioned that to you, the vomiting and those special situations.
Reversal.
Reversal. Okay, reversal is good. Yeah. Then udana, then samana. Samana, जो समान करता है वो समान प्राणा है. Saman karta means what? What makes everything one? Digestion. Digestion just takes everything and then pulverizes it. And then, but yet, digestion is able to separate all the nutrition out and then pump it out through the blood to the various parts of the body. That is called samana. The digestion part is called samana. All right, that is pranadi pancha. Then abhramukani pancha. Abhram, Abhram. Where did we see the word Abhram? Abhram. In Bhagavad Gita, we saw it. It may not be easy for you. It may not be easy for you. Huh?
I
Once
said
again,
Abrahma Bhuvana Lokaha. Is that?
Brahma. That is Brahma.
Okay.
As a
That is Brahma Loka. That is our Brahmaji.
as
That is
a
not Abram.
that is the cloudlet is shattered away.
Cloudlet is shattered away. Kachin Ubhaya Vibhrashtaha. Arjuna is asking the question, hey, I'm into the Karma Yoga now, and I'm doing all these things, and now you're asking me to fight the war also. What happens if I die? All the effort I've put, I've been listening to you. 18 chapters I've listened. It's important in my life. It's a big milestone in my life. And then he says, what will happen? Means what will happen means what happens? What is my fate? Then Krishna is going to answer, reassure him, right? So, Kachin Ubaya Vibrashtaha Chinnabram iva nashyati. Chinna Abram iva nashyati, he says there. Hey, he gives an example. Arjuna is giving an example. Look at all the clouds, the family of clouds, like a family of animals or a group of traveling like this. And then suddenly what happens? One little cloud just separates from the family. Once it separates, then it's a matter of time before it just fragments and then goes away, disappears completely. Chinnabhramiva nashyati. Will I be like that? Like that, Arjuna is asking. And of course, Parthanaiveha namutra vinashastasya vidyate nahi kalyanakrit kaschit durgatim tata gacchati. Very famous statement. Partha, hey Partha, no, you don't have to worry about all that. Vinashastasya na vidyate. Nahi kalyanakrit kaschit, no chance. Once you have come to this path, nobody's work is going to get lost anyway. But if you have come to this kind of a adhyaya, this kind of a yoga marga, then you will continue. The thread will continue, like that he said. So Abram there means cloud. Here also Abram, cloud, but cloud is as a receptacle, and cloud contains water, but the Akasha contains the cloud which contains the water. So by implication, Abram here means Akasha. Akasha. So Abhramukhani Pancha, those group of 5 elements which begin with Akasha. Abhradi, Abram, Abramadi, Abhradi, Abram, it's not Abhradi, Abhradi, Pancha, Abhramukhani. Mukham means beginning, face. That list which has Akasha as its face, as the beginning. All right, Abhramukhani Pancha. And then this shloka is going to continue. Buddhyadi avidyapi cha kama karmani puryashtakam sukshma shariram ahuhu. We'll do that in the next class. And so we got a chance to refer to some shlokas. Next class also we'll refer to some of the intervening shlokas. Okay, keep the book handy. आपदामपहर्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम् काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ